Hey Aries, this is wishkotheferret. Thanks for hopping into the ferret den. We're keeping things warm, we're keeping things cozy, and today we're going to do a reading for the week of 13th to the 19th of March. So, I have some pre-shuffled oracle cards here for you. Before we get into it and say our prayer, I just want to mention that I have a Patreon that I'm working on. Has not been launched yet. Will probably be launched towards the end of March, early April, something to that effect. So, if you like my style, if you like what I say, and if you think I'm cool, go ahead and like and subscribe, and that way you can keep in touch with, what's going on. You can be kept in the loop. So, that being said, drop into your heart space so we can get started. Let the dust physically, spiritually, and emotionally settle around you so you can determine which messages are for you and which messages are for other people. Call in whatever guides you work with, whatever energies you work with on the other side. Thank you, spirits, angels, loved ones on the other side. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for coming into our auric field and blessing us with a bubble of protection and a bubble of light. Thank you, Spirit, for connecting us with the highest source, the highest love, the highest truth, the highest light. Thank you for helping me deliver this information in an empowering and gentle way. Let's get started. The energy of Aries for, see, I know our Aries is the way to say it, but I always say Aries, so when I said Aries, that really tripped me up. For the week of the 13th to the 19th. Use this time while I'm shuffling to get grounded. Sorry if my face looks really big. I just need this table like right up in my business so I can see and know what I'm doing. Okay, so in the current energies, we have a lot of fate in play this week, it seems, Aries, because we have the Wheel of Fortune, so it's whatever energy you put out there, you're going to get back. So that is usually the case, but especially at this time, powers of manifestation are pretty high. And fate is kind of in the works right now is what I'm hearing. Like destiny, everything has its divine timing, and I think destiny is kind of working its magic right now. So if things aren't moving along as fast as you want it to, it is because divine timing is operating the way that it normally does, and kind of it's kind of slowing things down a little bit, slowing things down maybe slower than you want, or speeding up things a little bit quicker than you want. But that's just because, time is a thing I just heard you will manage. So you're going to have strength. And I mean, no wonder Spirit said that, because you also have the strength card here. Strength is kind of, I'm not even going to say kind of, strength is required at this time. Usually when the strength pops up, it's almost like Spirit just said, embrace the moment. So being strong and stern in the moment, I wouldn't even say stern. I would just say grounding yourself is going to be part of where your strength comes from, Aries. I'm feeling a lot of burning in my throat chakra, so I do feel like this is indicating some kind of throat chakra action. Maybe you're exhibiting your strength in some way with your throat. Maybe you're expressing yourself in some way with that throat, but speaking your truth is going to help you and going to be very important for this week, or there will be opportunities to speak up and speak for your truth. The Two of Swords here requires that you use your intuition to make a choice, or you're at a crossroads for something. And again, I keep hearing like destiny, fate. I mean, I do believe that we are in control of our destinies, but whatever energy you've been putting out there is energy that's coming back. So, I mean, I'm not going to say whether it's good or bad, because I mean, whatever energy you put out is just what you get back. But I mean, let's say if you worry a lot, for example, you're probably going to see a lot of bad stuff there, stuff that's going to feel bad to you. It's stuff that's not going to give you a great feeling. But if you focus on a lot of the positive stuff, And I'm not saying you have to focus on the positive all the time, but if you're focusing on a lot of the things that make you grateful, for example, then you're probably going to recognize more things that make you grateful and be thankful when good things do happen. So that is what I mean in terms of like energy, and or like putting like the energy out as the energy that comes back. Two of Swords. I feel like, okay, for some of you, this is like for a very select, small few of you, there is a decision maybe to go to an event. I'm hearing maybe a particular party, or there's like a choice to make in terms of like whether to attend some type of social event. And you, I mean, like, interesting. Someone just said, bust your ass to get ready. Like, I mean, if that's something, I don't know if that's a confirmation for some of you. If that's the energy you want to fall into, maybe that's happening this week too. So, you know, I mean, it's whatever you decide, whether you want to go, or it sounds like you do want to go, but you're like, you know, forcing yourself to like, it's almost like you're forcing yourself to go out. That's just for some of you though. I really feel like it is at a crossroads where you have to make a choice though. Making a choice. It could be about something big. It could be about something small. I feel like it's a little bit mundane, but you know, I mean, it's up to you. For some of you, you could actually be, okay, I don't want to like misspeak about this, but you never know. So like what Spirit is kind of telling me is, okay, so if you're at a crossroads for whether or not to go to a social event in particular, if you're single, you could meet someone special. I'm not saying that it like, it is there and present and ready for you. Like, I think love is ready for us at any time, but it's just putting out the right energy to receive that. So like if you're looking for love, it is a good opportunity to find it. And I'm not saying you're going to find somebody at this social event or whatever, but Spirit needs to see you. If you're looking, they need to see you actively putting out the work and putting out the energy and holding out hope. Not being entirely crushed or disappointed if something doesn't happen, but feeling like, oh, okay, well, darn it, at least I tried. Something like that. Like that's kind of like the script Spirit's kind of egging you to follow if you're looking for love. If you're not looking for love and you're just like tormented and you're like, oh, I got social anxiety, or like, oh, I don't want to go because of, you know, not making funny. I have a lot of anxiety when I go out too. So just throwing that out there. But if you definitely have like, I don't know, I just feel like you're at odds with yourself with the Two of Swords. So there is something, yeah, Spirit is saying thank you. Spirit just said that's practical advice. Yes, thank you. Some challenges you could face at this time. So in this current energy, you have the Knight of Wands and the Ace of Cups for your challenges. Now, for some of you, this is love. For some of you, you could be meeting someone that is very passionate, or somebody who does like overwhelm you and fill up your cup a little bit, but it's like very intense energy at first. For a lot of you, a challenge could be actually engaging in some type of hustle or moving quickly. And I just heard Spirit say, you shouldn't do that. But like, you know, you shouldn't do that. You know, you shouldn't rush forward on certain things. It feels like rushing forward on matters of the heart, in any sense of the word. I mean, this could be a romance. This could be a friendship. I mean, this could be something of moving too fast, or maybe being a little too, say maybe you just met like a new person or whatever. And I'm not going to say it's like a romance, but let's say you met a new friend and you're just revealing everything there is to know about yourself, and you're not really, I'm not going to say putting up walls is something you should do, but you know, when you're just getting to know someone, you don't really know who they are, how they're going to use certain information. So not like you should be guarded, but the challenge here seems to be holding yourself back a little bit. You know what I mean? So like, I mean, it is good to be very open. You are very wise in your decisions, and you are a very good judge of character. So if your intuition is calling for you to do something in this cycle, follow it, believe it, work with it. But I just feel like it's very hyper, like emotional time right now. It's a very hyperactive time right now, especially the Knight of Wands is very passionate. Ace of Cups is having your cup overflowing. So, I mean, I do feel like there's joy to experience, but the challenge is, for some of you, if that situation doesn't really resonate with you, I think there's like the other half of you that feels like you're having trouble embracing these energies when this energy is available. So it's really just embracing these things with the Ace of Cups, like really feeling like really accepting those feelings for what they are. Again, dip into your intuition and determine which situation is for you, because I really am feeling a little bit of both here. But I just feel like challenges is like taking charge. Like a challenge is like taking charge, moving forward. It's just very go. It's very go. Very filling up your cup and experiencing joy. Some of you could actually be challenged in engaging with that energy. And it's like, that's not really my thing, but I know that's a good thing for me to do. Some of you are a little too impulsive and taking it too much and need to step back a little bit. So what's going to make your life easier, the way forward, so take charge of your own decisions. The Six of Wands, this is taking charge of how you want to exhibit your energy, and the Hierophant makes sure that you're enforcing boundaries. So like what, again, and this is why I feel like it's a little bit of both. This is applicable in both sense of the word. If you are moving forward and if you are too trusting to an individual, you need the Hierophant for boundaries. You need the Hierophant for boundaries, and you need the Six of Wands to take charge of your energy and your character and say, okay, let me lead the way here. Let me decide how I'm going to do this. Okay. And on the other hand, if you are being too guarded, then you are putting yourself out there with the Six of Wands and saying, okay, I need to be a little bit more open than I usually am. And that's still you taking charge of your energy. Also, with the Hierophant, it's still putting up the boundaries, laying the foundation, laying the groundwork for something to grow later. But that Hierophant is like stepping your boundary. Okay, so I'm hearing Spirit say, like, for a lot of you, it's like crossing your boundaries. So just make sure that you are enforcing your boundaries with, like, you have the Six of Wands here. So the Six of Wands is, we all have the capabilities of enforcing our boundaries, but with the Six of Wands, they are a leader. You know, they are the leader of themselves. They are the leader of their armies. So you are the leader of your own energies. And so you need to make sure that you are taking accountability and making sure that you are putting yourself in situations that you are comfortable with and saying no when appropriate and saying yes when you want to do something. Okay? That's going to make, like, this is life easier. Like, what's going to make your life easier and what is the way forward for you? For your Astro dice, I'm not really sure if it's necessary to roll, but I'm going to do, oh yeah, for some of you, this is a social situation. What did I say? We got the 11th house, so yeah, okay, I don't know, I'm sorry. I just love when I, like, channel something, and then I get something later that matches, and I'm like, hey! So anyway, sorry. Saturn, you have Saturn, Cancer, and the 11th house here. Saturn is discipline. Saturn is being disciplined and making sure that you are consistently meeting those boundaries. Again, it's just kind of like a double confirmation for me. Cancer involves, it's just deep-rooted sensitivities and feelings. So this might be like a touchy subject for some of you, is like handling your feelings or something you're not used to doing. I'm hearing that you're used to catering to other people. So some of you are actually letting your boundaries be walked all over, regardless of what that looks like, whether you are very guarded or whether you put yourself out there and just blah, blah, blah your whole business to everybody and just trust everybody right off the bat when really it's not good for your energy. Either way, I've been both people. Trust me, I've been both. But it's calling Saturn, the presence of Saturn in Cancer calls for keeping that hold on your emotions and making sure that you are only bringing to the surface, bringing certain things to the surface that you want others to see. That, not saying keep secrets, but it really just feels like, you know, I mean, you might make a connection with somebody and it might feel amazing, but then you might learn something about them later, or you might see some, like, because when we're like first going into certain places and doing certain things, it really does feel very new and exciting. And we let a lot of stuff slide when things are new because we're looking at it with rose-colored glasses and we're like, oh my gosh, like, I can't wait to have a new friend. I can't wait to have a new partner, blah, blah, blah. And then we find out that, you know, I mean, they're actually a pretty crappy person, and or maybe they're not crappy, they just don't fit our energy, and then we kind of wish that we didn't establish, you know, so many things that, you know, bound us together, like, right off the bat, you know what I mean? So that being said, just watch out for that. Your oracle cards, you have Mintaken, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. This might actually be why, okay, I just heard both things. I heard this is why you push people away, and I also heard this is why you let people walk all over you. So again, I'm getting both energies here. Dang. So a lot of us really do feel lonely. We're looking for friendships. I heard something's at stake for some of you. Maybe some friendships are at stake, or something's at stake when you go out, or like when you communicate with others and like formulate your networks, your social networks. But you're longing for some semblance or some feeling of home. I think that's very common among light workers. And we oftentimes, even if you don't identify as like a light worker or a starseed or whatever, oftentimes people who are very emotionally aware and people who are extravagantly abundant and they don't realize it, like I'm a very abundant in my life and I'm like not in a space where I could, or even like if you don't feel abundant, okay, it doesn't even matter whether you, because like literally everybody has abundance. They're just like, it depends on what you turn your attention to. So I guess what I'm saying is, no matter what area of life you're in, it seems like particularly light workers, starseeds, the ones that have super high emotional awareness and seem to come here with a set mission and service to others, they seem to feel loneliest the most because they understand the feeling of not belonging, or like they want to help other people feel belong. They want to help heal and guide others. Like they have some semblance of suffering or some understanding of it. Which is why they want to help. So I feel like that's kind of the energy that we're carrying this week of looking for some kind of home in others, which, I mean, you're not going to find home in others. You have to find home in yourself. But it's a great support. It's a great support to find the people that you really click with. So I'm wishing you luck on that endeavor, Aries. That is, it's hard, and it's a lifelong process sometimes. So you really just have to keep working at it. Protection. Call back your power. Cut the cords. Soul retrieval. This really does, it feels like some of you are called to protect yourself this week, and I'm feeling in all matters, not just going out, because we talked about that for a while. We talked about like going out and like communicating, engaging in your social circles. This is like in terms of everything. This is in terms of like making sure, again, that whatever energy you're putting out, mental energy, physical energy, whatever, that you are focusing on things that produce positive results for you, and that you're like, I feel like for some of you, if you work with crystals or if you work with certain guides, like Archangel Michael was a great angel to call in for this. Like he's the archangel, like he is my main angel up there, like the one that I call on the most. He shows up in my visions the most, and he is doing the most. I feel him doing the most, and like now I feel like a strong presence now that I'm talking about him. So it's like the protection is what you need, from spiritual protecting yourself, even like in the physical sense of like making sure that you're putting your energy in places where you feel comfortable. Sometimes we have to be out of our comfort zones a little bit in order to grow, in order to experience, in order to achieve our dreams, for example. But this is just like, especially with like, you know, full moon energies going on. That was usually, if this video comes out, it was last week, but we're still in that cycle of Virgo. So literally just taking your time to work through these energies, connecting with the self, and making sure that you're putting forth the appropriate connections, or sorry, the appropriate protections is going to be important for you at this time. We have a change in the wind to the sea and clean it up. So what did I say about protection? So first of all, a change in the wind, you are floating on by in a new direction, or maybe you're changing your mind about something. I'm hearing somebody say that they're agreeing with you. So maybe you'll have agreements, like, or you'll reach agreements with people that you didn't realize that they would agree with you on, or something like maybe you're meeting people or you're talking to people and you don't realize that they're going to see eye to eye, but then you maybe accidentally let something slip, or you say something and then they end up being on board with something and you're like, wow, I did not realize that. So there's that. And I think having that confidence, you're like, it's almost like you're stripping away the fear here, and that you're moving forward a little bit more confidently than you were before. Because we also have to the sea, which is quite literally moving into uncharted territory, a whole new direction. Maybe some of you are actually engaging in a new like, I don't feel like it's a new passion project, but I feel like some of you, this is like an encouragement to go with the flow here. This is an encouragement to go with whatever your heart is wanting at the time, wherever your mind is taking you, wherever the wind is blowing, your sail is going to take you, but being comfortable enough with the unknown to explore new territory. Be this in relationships, be this in just your life in general in terms of new projects. Any way, shape, or form, let the wind take you and let your boat take you wherever. You're just gently rowing. I want to say the earth is guiding you. Why did I want to say the earth is guiding you? I was about to say your spirit team is guiding you, but like it's almost like the earth is holding you and taking care of you. So I feel like you are coming into a time where the earth, things on earth will, even if it hasn't felt like the earth has supported you, things on earth will start supporting you. You will start to feel support from people. You will start to feel actually supported from the universe. Like how our physical body feels, you will actually start to feel support from that when you're headed into an aimless direction that might have actually spooked you before. Maybe you were afraid of the unknown, but now it almost seems like you're handling it with confidence. Clean it up is incredibly important, especially when the protection card comes out here. I'm not gonna like be dramatic and say I don't like when the protection card and the clean it up card come out. It just feels like there's a lot of negative headspace energy here. It feels like there's a lot of getting down about things, and we all have those down spells that happens. Again, with that full moon in Virgo, some of us do not handle that energy well. Full moon energy, just period. Some of us don't handle that well. And for a lot of us, especially for this week, I feel like, I don't know, we have our down moments and that's okay. But I feel like clean it up is just kind of the remnants or the aftermath of a really tough or intense situation, or maybe just like the really intense anxiety or really intense frustration, and we are just kind of standing up and brushing ourselves off a little bit. And we are quite literally, what I like to do is I like to take, so I have actually a feather that I've been gifted from one of my friends, but you can have like a little brush, like an actual duster, and just literally dust off your auric field just around you. That just feels like a great exercise for me. And I just imagine like dark little splotches just going away, getting dusted away. And like maybe I'll take like a wash rag to it and like wipe it away. I'm a very visual person. So like sometimes like I will quite literally just like, and I do this with my my like rosemary bundle too, or like my jasmine bundle, is I'll just smoke out my aura and be like, ugh, like it feels like a spiritual shower. Or maybe you actually have to just go into the shower and do it and just scrub everything down just to, in imagining yourself cleaning yourself spiritually too. That, I don't know, that feels great to me. But just something that you can try. Also, actually physically cleaning your space might actually work wonders too, because sometimes when I feel the grossest and I look around, I'm like, dang, my apartment needs cleaned. So that's something that you can do too. And also, last but not least, you have surprises. Venture down the rabbit hole. So I like this, and I'm liking this card, especially as a follow-up, because this is what you have to look forward to. This is what you have, because like especially with the change in the wind and to the sea. Do you imagine, like, can you imagine how amazing this is to have a surprise? Like, venture down the rabbit hole. It sounds like you're going on an adventure, like you're Alice in Wonderland. Talking too fast, Amanda, relax. When you're like Alice in Wonderland and you're jumping down the rabbit hole and you're finding so many like cool and amazing things, I feel like that once you don't jump ship. Spirit just said something about jumping ship. Don't jump ship on this. Like, this is actually an incredible, like, literally just embrace this energy of going in an unknown direction, because it could lead to so many different surprises and so many wonderful things. You just need to trust, and you just need to follow that path, okay? And, okay, I'm going to roll the angel dice for you, and then that will close out your reading, Aries. So let's see if there's anything else that Aries needs to know at this present moment in time. Please let us know, angels. 3, 3, 2. We follow like Alice. Just keep diving down the hole. Okay. Your relationships are moving into a space of growth in order for you to feel content. Oh, one more time. Your relationships are moving into a space of growth in order for you to feel content. Okay, so with that being said, Aries, I'm going to let that be the closing message for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And yeah, I hope you have an amazing week.